before I answer that question, since we are hosting tonight, let me just once again join Bob in wishing each of you a warm welcome. And thank you for being here. It's wonderful to have you here. And this is my second panel that I've been to. The first panel that I've been on, I think this was just a wonderful event. And kudos to Bob, and especially welcome to the other panelists as well. It's an honor to be here with you. So thank you very much. Well, as Bob mentioned, our church is maybe a little different from other Christian churches in that we don't have a paid ministry. What we do is certain members of the congregation, actually everyone in the congregation, is asked to serve in some way. And it's such the case that I was happened to asked to serve as the president of our stake, which is a group of about 8 congregations in the San Pedro, Palos Verdes area. So I said yes to that, and I am doing that. Several years from now, I might be teaching a 10-year-old Sunday school class after I'm done doing this. So we have a saying in our church that it doesn't matter where you serve, it just matters how you serve. And that's kind of our approach to that. I will admit, though, there are sometimes on Monday mornings when I roll into work after a busy Sunday of church activity, and I try to recalibrate my mind to thinking about cars and work from families and individuals at church work. And I wish that I was maybe working 40 hours that week at church. But anyway, it's been a great opportunity to serve. So having said that, let me share just one thing along the way of and as much as I did aspire to become a clergy so much that I was asked to be and do it kind of on a part-time basis. Let me share an interesting experience that has maybe kept me in the church, or kept me in the clergy, so to speak. In our church, we have a missionary program. And the way it works is when individuals, males turn 19 and 18, and females turn 19, if they would like to, it's a volunteer effort, not forced or mandatory by any means, but if they would like to, they can sign up to serve a mission. And for males, it's 2 years. For females, it's 1.5 years. And when you do so, you essentially say, I will go and do missionary work. You don't say where. And so I was growing up in Idaho Falls, Idaho, kind of a skinny, redheaded kid who was not too educated in most things, hadn't been too far out of maybe the area of the Intermountain West. And I decided after my first year of college that I wanted to serve a mission, and be a missionary. I had grown up, my parents are both members of our church, and I'd grown up in the church and was baptized when I was 8, and felt like I had a decent knowledge, and felt like I had a certain commitment to Christ and wanted to go do missionary work. But an interesting thing happened. I got a letter in the mail, and I opened it up, and it said, "You have been called to serve in the Japan Osaka mission." And I looked at that, and I to be honest, I don't know if I really knew where Japan was. I knew it was somewhere over there, in some direction. And the immediate reaction was fright, I think. And then once I got my arms around it, I said, okay, here we go. The way it works is a missionary enters something called the Missionary Training Center. And you are there for about 8 weeks, 2 months. And it is an intense time in which you are learning the gospel, learning how to do missionary work, and learning to speak Japanese. And so, if most of us can remember when we were 19 years old in our lives, that's about an age where you're about as free as you're going to get. You're still kind of attached to mom and dad, and mom's still cooking meals and doing the laundry, and dad's floating you some change here and there, and it's just a great time in life. And I was hanging out with some of those pretty Presbyterian girls probably, and I was touching the rim, playing a lot of basketball, and I went from that world to the MTC. And what that meant for me is every morning I got up at 6:30, and my day was boom, 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 planned out. I put on a white shirt and a tie, and I was in a classroom probably 10 to 12 hours a day, studying Japanese, and studying the gospel, and studying the Bible, and studying the Book of Mormon, and trying to understand how to be a missionary. And about 2 weeks into it, something very interesting happened. I continue the 6 weeks that I had in the MTC, let alone another 2 years in Japan, unless I did not absolutely understand that God lived, that Jesus was the Christ, and that what I was about ready to embark to Japan to teach these people was true. And so after much prayer, after much meditation, after studying the scriptures, I was inspired to continue on. And it was an experience that probably led me to many ways. I worked for a Japanese company, I came back and majored in Japanese and business and some other things, but that was an inspirational point for me and kind of led me to where I am. Thank you, Bob.
In thinking